what I want you to do is where it says test strategies, you're going to have a little corner here. So I want you to write the following things. On the day, okay? Check the dictionary, check for dictionary, and put answer document at the end of the test. These are two things I want you to do the moment you start the test on test day. And there's a reason for this. One, you guys are allowed to use dictionaries. So, doesn't matter what room you're testing in, I will make sure, or I will try to make sure, that there are dictionaries for you to use. Now, what kind of dictionary can you use? Can we use the big ones? No. Can we use the Spanish ones? No. It has to be Spanish English. It has to be the kind that you have on your table right now. So, those are the ones you're allowed to use on the test. So we're going to be using them from now on the tables. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do, if you don't see the dictionaries, remind the teacher you're with. Remember, I won't be with you guys. So you have to remember that. Okay? Second thing, as soon as you get the test document, they're going to give you the answer document, where you're going to bubble in. And normally on that, there's going to be a tab. You're going to have to open the test. As soon as you open the test, you're going to get your test document and you're going to put it at the end of the test. Why? Because you guys fidget with the test document way too much. And you guys start getting nervous and you start bubbling in and you make these silly mistakes. I was checking one person's bubble sheet and they had like number 1 was fine. They put the correct answer. Number 2, they skipped it. And number 3 was bubbled in. So what happened? The person thought they were putting the bubble in for number 2, but put it in the number 3 part. And after that, they started marking down all the answers wrong. So they had all the answers wrong, starting from number 3. So what I want you to do is I want you to put the answer document at the end. Only when you have finished the test and checked it, the last 30 minutes of the day, will you bubble in. You are not going to bubble in before that. Okay? That's something I want to make sure. Now, there are going to be 5 passages. Okay? In the test, on average, you'll have 5 passages. The 5 passages will be 1 passage, which will be a paired passage. That means that there will be 2 stories that will go together, just like the packet we're doing right now. Then, there are going to be 3 passages left over. Now, the thing about these 3 passages is that you're going to have to decide in what order you're going to do them. And actually, no, you won't, because I'm going to tell you in what order you're going to do them. The first one you're going to do is the pair, okay? The ones that go together. So as soon as you open the packet, as soon as you open your test, you're going to go through all the packet. What are you going to do as you go through all the packet? You're going to be doing text features, okay? So you will write and you will label all the text features of all the passages. Not the first one. What? I know. Now, you're going to do all the passages in the packet. Okay? All the passages in the test. You're not answering questions, you're not reading. Only text features. So you're going to mark titles, pictures, graphs, quotation marks, etc. Labels, captions, etc. Everything. Why are we going to do this? Simple. I want you first to find these 2. The ones that are paired. Okay? Why? These are the first ones you're going to do. Why? Simple. Thank you for asking so. You are going to do these because it's going to require a lot of concentration to remember 2 passages at the same time. There are going to be 3 or 4 questions for the first one, 3 or 4 questions for the second one. And then there's going to be questions about both of them. So they'll say, based on the first passage and the second passage, how are they the same? How are they different? So you're going to have to remember both of them. That one is the one that's going to require the most concentration. So I want you to do it first, when you're fresh, when you're awake. Remember, you guys start off really well, and then you start going down. We want to avoid that. So at home, you're also reading an hour every day. At least trying. The more you try, the closer you'll get. Remember, we have 23 days to get there. Now, after you find the paired passage, you've done the text features on all of them. So you've read through, and you're going to say, ooh, this one looks interesting. And you're going to find one, there's always one passage that you guys find interesting. It's going to be fun or something that's going to catch your attention. That one is the last one. Okay? The last one you do. Why? Because it's interesting. It's easier to concentrate when you're tired when something is interesting. If you try to do the boring one last, which is what you always do, you leave the boring one for last, you can't concentrate anymore. So you're like, oh my God, this is so boring. Who wants to read about socks? No one. So you're going to say, okay, this is my number 4. You're going to put a number 4 next to the title. So you know in your head, this is my number 4. The paired passage, I'm calling them 1.1 and 1.2. Okay? After that, there's going to be that passage about socks. There's going to be that passage about chairs. The history of chairs. Yeah, we really want to read that. There's going to be one that's boring. That one is the second one you're going to read. After you do the paired passage, you're going to read the second one. Okay? And the second one is going to be the boring one. Why? You're still fresh. You can still concentrate. After you do the paired passage, you're going to take a 5-minute break. You're going to stretch your arms. You're going to stand up, stretch your back, stretch your arms, get the blood flowing again, and you're going to sit down and go do the boring one. Why? It's easier to concentrate at the beginning. Okay? Now, the middle one is my whatever one. It's the one that's really not that interesting, but it's a bit boring too. But it's not that interesting, it's not that boring.
It's like in between both.
Yeah, I call that the whatever.
Okay?
So the whatever is the one in between. This is the last one, this is the interesting one, last one. The whatever, the boring, and the pairing. That's the order, okay? So, first paired passage, then the boring, then the whatever, and then the interesting one. Okay? Let's go back. Now, and that's what I wrote here. Choose the order, and the order is paired passage, that's PD is paired. Then you got the boring one, which is B. Then you got the whatever, and then you got the interesting. Okay? So, okay. Now, let's close this and close this and make sure the microphone's working. Okay. Now, first thing we do, we're gonna assume that you guys have already done the first reading, and we're just gonna do the text features and the straight annotation. So let's start. What's this? See, remember guys, don't get confused. There can be more than one title, depending on the parts. Title? This is subtitle. And what's this? This is a title, because it's part of an article. Now, where would you see this kind of format?
A newspaper.
Newspaper. So, this is basically a newspaper article. Now, we're going to read it together, and we'll actually annotate as we go along. So, follow along. When it is hot in the summer, nothing is more fun than jumping in the pool or lake to cool off. You can swim with your best friend and splash each other. You can play games in the water. Some kids even have parties at pools or lakes, where swimming is a big part of the fun. Many of us love to simply swim because it is fun. How would you annotate this one? Kaylee. Okay. Swimming is fun.
That's the same thing I wrote.
Okay. Number 2. However, some people do not know that swimming also offers a good way to exercise many parts of your body. Eating right is one way to stay in shape, but exercise is an important part of being healthy too. An exerciser who eats well can often expect to live a healthy life. When you swim, you exercise your muscles, your heart, and your lungs. Swimming is a great way to keep your body healthy. And there's a word that's underlined there, so I'm going to highlight it. Then I'm going to do 1. That's the sentence where it ends. That's the sentence where that ends. So I'm going to mark that sentence and that sentence, because I know when I do the vocabulary strategy, I'm going to read between that area and this area. Okay? And I always use these marks to indicate that. Now, how would I annotate this? How would I write? What would I write? Leslie? Okay, so this has to do exercise. Remember, I don't have to write a full sentence. It's basically exercise and swimming, right? Okay, number 3. Swimming moves many muscles in your body's muscular system. So it's talking about a system here. Now, muscular system means all the muscles in your body. When you swim, you move your arms and your legs through the water. The water offers resistance to your muscles. This resistance forces your muscles to work harder than if you were simply moving your arms and legs in the air. When you swim, you also use muscles in your shoulders, back, chest, and hips. For instance, you reach out with your arms and pull your body along in the water. This motion works the muscles in your shoulders and chest. Also, the muscles in your thighs and hips must always work to keep your legs going. How would we annotate this? Anyone? Okay, someone who hasn't participated yet. Jessica, what would you annotate? What did you write? Resistance? That's only one time. What are the main ideas what's the idea that's being repeated? Because you got muscles, 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 muscles. Do you think it has to do with muscles? Probably. Remember, the main idea is the one that's going to be repeated a bunch of times. So this is muscle and swimming. Okay? Now, number 4. Swimming helps your heart and other parts of your circulatory system. I don't know that word. So I'm just going to highlight this. It's a system. That means it's kind of like the muscular system that I saw earlier. Because that one, but I know what the muscular system is, because that has to do with muscles, right? Now, the circulatory system, it has to do with the heart. What does the heart do?
Pumps blood.
It pumps blood. So, if the circulatory system must mean that it's talking about blood. So I'm just going to put an arrow there, and I'm going to mark it. Just going to put blood, just to remind me that the circulatory system, that's why I put the arrow, is about blood. Okay? Swimming helps your heart and other parts of your circulatory system. Now you see, I went back to the beginning because I want to make sure that I read all of it together now that I understand it better. Okay, I don't just start where the last word I read. Swimming helps your heart and other parts of your circulatory system. Your heart is a muscle that needs exercise just like any other muscle. When you swim, your heart beats faster. Swimming makes your heart beat faster since your muscles need the food and oxygen in your blood. Exercise helps your circulatory system grow and get food and oxygen to your muscles. So this is basically blood, muscles, oxygen, because it talks about it, and swimming. So basically, we know that the main idea of this whole thing is going to be swimming, because that's what they're talking about at the time. Okay. Since swimming makes your muscles and your heart work hard, it also makes you breathe harder. This exercise makes your muscles get more oxygen. Your lungs use muscles, so swimming helps exercise them and make them strong. One muscle that works hard when you swim is your diaphragm. It is in your chest right below your lungs. It expands and contracts your lungs to make your lungs work. The diaphragm must work hard when you swim. Your lungs take in oxygen to supply the other muscles in your body. By exercising your lungs, you will add to your body's ability to use oxygen over time. So how would you annotate this one? Melissa. Okay, we have lungs. What else? What? No, it's talking. It's not really talking about the heart. What other part of the body is it talking about? The diaphragm. And it's diaphragm. And exercise. We're talking about exercise. And of course, swimming. Okay, 6. For many people, swimming is a good way to have fun. It is also good exercise. Swimming makes you work many muscles when you have to kick your legs and stroke your arms. It also forces your heart to beat faster, so it exercises your heart. Swimming increases the body's ability to use oxygen by working the muscles that control the lungs. The more you swim, the stronger you will get and the less tired you will feel. Swimming is one way that you can stay healthy and keep your body in shape. So this is like kind of like stay healthy, right? And swim, because it's all about swimming. Now, what would this be? It's an ad. Like when you look in the newspapers, you'll see different ads selling you different stuff. And this, what are they selling here? Join the Eastmount Elementary Swim Team. Come to the North Highmount Recreation Complex this Saturday at 9 a.m. for tryouts. Swimming is not only great fun, but it's great for your body as well. See Mrs. Lang with questions. And it says, race, compete, have fun, get fit. Swimming develops good muscle tone. Swimming keeps your lungs healthy. Swimming supports a healthy heart. So what are they trying to say with this? It's good for your body. So what do we call this? A caption. What do we call this? No. What do we call this? Label. And what do we call this? What's a good word? Illustration. The photograph is about a person, a real person or a real place. This is not it. Let me just move that out of the way. All right. So, and we know that this is for tryouts and swim team, right? Okay, now we're going to answer the questions for this. Remember, when you have paired passage, this is the first one you're going to do. Now let's just remember real quick the steps on each test. First thing you do, you go through the whole test and you look and you mark what? No. The day of the test, you're going to receive your packet and your answer sheet. What do you do? Put the answer. So you put the answer sheet in the back. Then what do you do? What's the next step? What's step number 2? Make sure there's a dictionary on your table. What else should be there? What else should there be on your table? Index cards. And you should have in your hand what? How many? 4. Okay, excellent. Then, once you have all your material, you start looking at the test. What do you do in your test? What's the first thing you do? Text features. So you're going to go through the whole packet, every single passage, and you're going to identify text features. You're not going to answer the questions. You're not going to even read the questions. All you're doing is looking at the text features. When we go through the text features, what are we looking for?
Read the passage 1.
No.
Paired passage.
The paired passage. The passage that has the 2 passages together with no questions between them. Then, after that one, which one are you going to find? You got the paired passage. The boring one. There's always one that's really boring, so that's the second one you do. Then, what do you look for? The exciting one. The interesting one, because that's the last one you're going to do. And then the other one, that's the third one. So that's the order you'll do it. Paired passage first. Boring one second. whatever one third, and an interesting one last. Okay? That will give you 3 passages in the test. Got to remember that. Now, when we go to the questions, what's the first thing we do? Cover the answers. So, okay. The first thing we do is read the whole question. Not just a piece of the question, we read the whole question. And always do that with a highlighter in your hand, just in case you need to mark anything. So, read the sentence from paragraph 2. I know it's from paragraph 2 because it says it there. Do I have to write paragraph 2 next to it? No, I don't have to do that because that says it there. So it's kind of do it twice, no point. An exerciser who eats well can often expect to live a healthy life. And the question is, what does the word exerciser mean in this sentence? Okay, I have to go back to where? Paragraph 2. So let's go to paragraph 2. Now see, I had already marked it. Now, since I already marked that, I'm going to use a different color if I have to. It doesn't mean I will have to. It just is an option. So what I do in this strategy. Read the sentence before and read the sentence after. And generally, the context will give me more or less information as to what that word means. So let's read it together. Eating right is one way to stay in shape. But exercise is an important part of being healthy too. An exerciser who eats well can often expect to live a healthy life. When you swim, you exercise your muscles, your heart, and your lungs. So basically, I've got exercise over here. So I'm guessing an exerciser has something to do with exercise. So, because that's basically the same thing. And yes, it says that it can expect to have a healthy life. So let me just write down real quick. What do I expect here? I'm going to expect something healthy. I'm going to expect something that has to do with exercise. That means physical activity. That means if I'm talking about physical activity and exercise, what kind of things do you think about when you think about physical activity? The gym, okay. Running, okay. So I'm covering up the answers again. Now I'm going to write down exercise, gym, healthy. Anything else I missed? Okay, swim because of the whole thing. Eating right, okay. Yes, Kelly? You took away the at the end. That's a really good thing. See, here, when you see a word that has an ER at the end, generally, not all the time, but generally, it means someone who does the beginning of the word. So, for example, we have writer, and it has ER. That means someone who does this, someone who writes. Okay? So, now that we've done that, we are going to read each answer choice, okay? A small amount of work done to keep fit and healthy. Now, this one is sneaky because it talks about fit and healthy, which has to do with this. But it's talking about a small amount of work. Now, if you do nothing and just sit on the couch, watch TV, you'll become a couch potato, which is not really healthy, right? So, is this telling the truth? No, it's not. B, a person who carries out scientific tests. That's kind of weird. Okay. C, an activity done to keep fit and healthy. It's not talking about a person. Remember, an exerciser is a person. It's talking about an activity. So, no. D, a person who works hard to keep fit and healthy. Talks about a person, talks about fit and healthy. Yes. Now, Remember, you have to work each question. Okay, let's go to question number 2. Cover up the answer. Now, which of these is an opinion expressed in the selection? Now, I always tell you go back to the passage, but since it's an opinion question, you have either fact and opinion. A fact is something that is true no matter what. An opinion is something that someone thinks. So words that you're looking for: good, bad, ugly, pretty, best, worst. Those are the kind of words that go with opinions. If I say, for example, that Jesus has the smelliest socks in here. Now, I want you to think about it. These are the words you're looking for: good, bad, best, worst, think, feel. Now, when I say he has the smelliest thing, there are some smells that people like. For example, I have a friend who likes the smell of Sharpies. I hate the smell of Sharpies. It really gives me a headache. I just can't stand it. But you see, all the things that we feel, that's that. Smell is something we feel. It's not something that we know for sure and that everyone's the same. Okay. So, every time you talk about what's the best smell, worst smell, the smelliest, the nicest, all those letters, those are the ones telling you that this is an opinion. Facts are the heart pumps blood. Facts are we all have hair. Facts are we all have smells. Good or bad, doesn't matter, we do have smells. So to do this, to do a fact and opinion, we have to think, is it true or is it false? If it's a fact, it's going to be true. Okay? If it's an opinion, it's not exactly false, it's just not true for everyone. Okay, so let's read them one by one. I'll use a different color here. Okay, when it is hot in the summer, nothing is more fun than jumping in the pool or lake to cool off. Reading this, are there any words that show you that it is an opinion, Miguel, or a fact? Does any word here show you fact or opinion?
Yes.
Which one? Fun. Fun is an opinion word. Absolutely. Anything fun, there are things, different people do different things for fun. I like to read for fun. I like to play Xbox for fun. I like to go go camping for fun. My wife, on the other hand, she likes Xbox, but she will never go camping with, because she does not find it fun to go sleep in a tent and be uncomfortable. So fun is an opinion. Every time you see fun, that's going to be an opinion. Now, since we haven't checked the other ones, I'm going to put a question mark here, because I had to check the other ones, because maybe something's confusing me and I just don't know. G, when you swim, you also use muscles in your shoulders, back, chest, and hips. Are there any opinion words, Kaylee?
No,
It's in the story. But you see, they talk about fun in the story too. So, but this is something that is actually true. I've swam, and when I've swam a lot, my arms hurt, my back hurts, my chest hurts, and my hips hurt. So I'm guessing that is a fact. Okay, H. One muscle that works hard when you swim is your diaphragm. That also appears in the text. That's at least, we don't know if it's true, but at least it's written as a fact. So yes. J. Swimming increases the body's ability to use oxygen by working the muscles that control the lungs. That's it again. It's written as a fact. Okay, so which is the only one that can be the answer? Well, F. Okay. Number 3. The ad for the Eastmount Elementary swim team tryouts is meant to make swimming look... Okay.
I use the dictionary for that.
Now, let's look back here. What? How are they showing you this swimming? They're showing you it's what? It's healthy. Look at this. Have fun. Get fit. The person's smiling. That's what, guys, This is why it's important to look at the pictures. The pictures will give you information if you pay attention. Because if swimming weren't fun, would she be smiling or he? I think she, because it has a full suit. Yeah, boys use trunks. Girls use full suits when they swim. For competition, at least. Now, so she's smiling, so it has to be fun, right? And they'll say, "Have fun, get fit." So basically, it's fun. It's basically fun and healthy. Okay, it's something that you would want to do. Okay, let's go back to the passage. I mean, the question. I forget. Okay, so the ad for the Eastmount Elementary Swim Team tryouts is meant to make swimming look silly. No. Because if it was silly, it's like, don't do this. Don't. And it's not saying that. So I'm going to say no. Dull. Is it? See, someone was saying that, okay, this word, if you look at it in the dictionary, has different meanings. Has a bunch of meanings.
It's page 535. I found that it says like it's sad.
Okay. There are some meanings that could be sad, but there's one meaning that's the exact meaning for this in this context, which is boring. Something dull generally is something that's not bright. So, for example, if you have a very old piece of metal and it doesn't shine anymore, that metal's dull. If a class is really boring and makes you sleepy, that class is dull. If something is not fun, that's dull. Today, the day outside is kind of dull because there's no sun shining. So dull is connected with anything shiny, anything that is like kind of like not. No, dull is the opposite. Remember, dull is the opposite. So it's the opposite of awesome. Boring. I don't know. Okay, so swimming in the ad, even if you don't like swimming, and this is one of the things we always tell you, don't put yourself in the story, because a lot of you guys say swimming's boring. That is your opinion. Don't put yourself in the story. Based on the ad, based on the picture, do you think that the picture shows boring? No. Because the girl's smiling, she's like, hey. Now, do you think this is going to be the right answer? No, because that's not what the picture shows us. What about peaceful? What about peaceful? It's not peaceful. Have you ever seen a peaceful pool? Like everyone's jumping in, they're screaming, they're running around. Peaceful is not a word I would connect with the swimming pool. So I'm going to say no. We're in trouble because we've already gone through 3, and if number 4 is not the right answer, we're in trouble. Exciting. Would swimming be exciting? For the picture, yes, because if you like it, you're going to compete and everyone's going to be, yay! It's kind of also cinema for happy, so yeah. So I would say yes, definite yes. That's the only one that can be. Okay, since we finished those 3, we're going to the second passage now. Remember, we don't read both passages at the same time. We read the first one first, answer the questions. Second one, answer those questions. And then we answer the questions that are together. Now, as I said before, generally the paired passages are going to be one fiction and one non-fiction. The first one was a non-fiction piece because it was from a newspaper. The second one is going to be a fiction piece. It's a personal narrative. So it's called Lauren Goes Swimming. Now, once again, I'm going to read it to you guys. We're going to annotate. I'm going to annotate every 2 or 3 paragraphs just because it is easier. Kaylee actually reminded me of doing something I wasn't doing. Text features. We always start with text features. Okay, so what's this? Title. Then we have this. This is kind of like, I guess it would be a poster, but that's what it says, poster here. So yeah, duh. And the poster has a title, and it has, I don't know if I'd call them captions, but it's part of the text, so it's part of the poster. Let's go to the next page. Are there any other text features on it? No, it's just that. And see, that's another thing that shows you that it's a story. Most non-fiction pieces have lots of text features. Okay, most fiction stories don't have more than one or two. Okay, because that's just how they're made up. And we go to Lauren Goes Swimming. Lauren did not like swimming. Last year, her parents made her take swimming lessons, but during the lessons, she refused to lift her feet from the bottom of the pool. She's told the swimming teacher, "When I'm in the water, I feel like I'm like a fish out of water. I don't want to learn how to swim." So basically, this is Lauren is stubborn. And she doesn't want to swim. I'm going to just put that over here. Doesn't want to swim. Okay, 2. If you fall into a pool, you might drown, the teacher responded. There are other reasons you should learn to swim too, she said, pointing to a poster on the wall near the pool. And I'm going to continue. I'm not going to annotate right away because that's a short one. Top 9 reasons why children should learn to swim. Everyone following along? Good. 9. Safety. Children who know how to swim are less likely to drown. According to some experts, it can take just 3 seconds for a child to drown. 8. Health. Swimming is one of the best all-around exercises you can do. It offers a full body workout. 7. Interests. Learning to swim can open the door to many activities that can become lifelong interests, like competitive swimming, competitive diving, snorkeling, water skiing, whitewater rafting, parasailing, wakeboarding, paddleboarding, surfing, tubing, water polo, scuba diving. 6. Jobs. There are many jobs available only to people who can swim, like lifeguard, swim coach, Coast Guard captain, and salvage diver. 5. Confidence. Children who learn how to swim feel confident about their ability to overcome other kinds of challenges. 4. Discipline. Children who learn to follow pool rules and manners are better behaved and safer than children who do not. 3. Social skills. Learning to swim in a class is a social activity. Learning to swim in a class is a social activity. Being able to swim will open up many opportunities for making new friends and playing with old ones. 2. Travel. Okay, number 2, travel. Knowing how to swim can make vacations more enjoyable, whether you visit a beach in Mexico, a water park in Texas, or a mineral bath in Hungary. 1. Fun. Most importantly, swimming is fun. So this is basically why to swim. Okay? And that's going to be number 2 down. 3. I don't care. I will just never go near water, Lauren said. There were so many other things to do instead. No one would notice if she did not go swimming. Even though she decided she would stay away from water, Lauren reluctantly practiced all the strokes and kicks her teacher showed her. Lauren concocted a plan. During winter, not swimming presented no problem. During the summer, Lauren could think of several good excuses for not swimming, so she would not have to face her fear of the water. Now, this is kind of like how not to swim, right? Five. One July day, Lauren knew she had a problem. Her friend Rosa was having a birthday party in 1 week. Rosa said, "The party will be at the lake. We'll go swimming, and afterward, we'll have a cookout. Can you come?" Lauren frowned and told Rosa, "My parents are busy that day, so they can't drive me there." "That's okay," Rosa said. "My dad will pick everyone up." Lauren tried to think of another excuse, but nothing leaped to mind. "All right, I'll come," she said, "but I might not swim." "Of course you'll swim," Rosa said. "Swimming is fun." So this is what is this part about?
She has a big problem.
Problem? Where?
The lake.
Why is she at the lake?
Because there are all the provided water needs to go to the park. No, needs to go to
And I'd say probably Rosa's party invite. Because Rosa is inviting Lauren to the party. 10. On the day of the party, the weather was sunny and warm. Rosa got in the van and with her dad and directed him to the house of each friend coming to the party, including Lawrence. Soon the van was full, and the friends were chattering about how fast they could swim. Lawrence sat silently, looking out the window. When the group arrived at the lake, the girls ran to the changing room to put on their bathing suits. Then everyone raced down to the lake. Only Lawrence stayed behind. "Come on, Lauren," Rosa shouted. "No," Lauren said. "Why not?" Lauren turned red. "I don't like to swim. I'm afraid of the water," she said. Rosa's mouth dropped open in amazement. "I didn't know. I'm sorry. I thought everyone liked swimming," Rosa said. "Maybe you can help my dad cook the hamburgers? Yeah, go to the party so you can cook." So basically Lauren can't swim. Oh, actually, is it can't or is it won't? She won't swim. She's kind of scared of the water. Okay, 17. Rosa joined the others in the water. Everyone was splashing and shouting. "They're having a good time," Lauren thought glumly. After swimming, everyone came up to the shore to eat the hamburgers. Lauren looked around for Rosa, but Rosa was not with the others. Lauren looked down at the lake. She saw someone splashing and heard a voice, "Help me!" So what's happening here?
Somebody's drowning.
Okay. Lauren had to act quickly. Without thinking, she ran into the water. She moved her arms and legs the way the swimming teacher had shown her, and splashed through the water. She reached Rosa and pulled her back to shore. On the shore, everyone gathered around Rosa, who was coughing. Her dad put a dry towel around her shoulders. "What happened?" a friend asked. "I went too far and I got tired," Rosa said. "I was really scared." "You're lucky Lauren saw you," Rosa's dad said. "Lauren, if this ever happens again, please yell for help before you jump in the water. Both of you were in danger." So here it's saying basically Lauren saves Rosa, right? Rosa stared at Lauren. Rosa looked perplexed, trying to understand her. "Hey," she said to Lauren, "you said you were afraid of the water." "I guess I got over it," Lauren said. "Thanks to you." "Lucky for me you did," Rosa sighed. "Swimming out that far was the biggest mistake I've ever made. I should have known better." She smiled at Lauren and said, "Wow, who could have imagined that a deep water rescue would be my favorite birthday present?" So here is one, Lauren isn't afraid of water anymore. And Rosa says thank you. I'm just going to put TY. Thank you. Then finally, now Lauren is happy with her parents. Now Lauren is happy that her parents made her take swimming lessons. She likes feeling strong and unafraid of the water. She cannot wait until the next lake party. Okay, so Lauren isn't afraid anymore. I put that. Isn't afraid anymore. Oops, I wasn't. Okay. So Lauren isn't afraid anymore. Guys, if you can't see what I'm writing on the screen, let me know. Because sometimes I focus on the paper and I forget to look at the screen. Okay, so we finished this and we're going to the questions. So we have 3 questions, 4 to 6. First thing we do with the questions. Index card, cover the answers. In the future, Rosa will probably. Okay, these questions are actually pretty hard. Because when they say will probably, it means that you have to think about Rosa and you have, okay, so these questions are hard because these will ask you, you have to put yourself in Rosa's position. And you have to think of the future. Like, what is the possibility of Rosa doing something? And remember, it's Rosa, not anyone else. What will she do in the future? So, let's think back for a second. And we're going to actually do a chart here. Now, Rosa. What things do we know about Rosa? But she knows how to swim. Okay. She's had a party. Not afraid of water. What else? That's okay. Went too far. Anything else? Is friends with Lauren. Okay, what else? Is there any information I'm missing?
He was drowned.
Almost drowned. Do we have it? No, we don't. Almost drowned. Okay, I think we have most of it. Okay, now we're going to go back and we're going to look at the answers. Okay, so in the future, Rosa will stay closer to the shore when she goes swimming in the lake. That's a maybe. I'll put a question mark there because generally, if you think about it, if someone has an accident or something happens to them, they're a bit more careful the next time. And remember, this is based on what Rosa would do, not what you would do. Okay? So that's why we wrote down all these things about Rosa. Because it's about her, not you. You are not in the story. But since Rosa almost drowned because she went too far, it's a good chance to say that she will probably stay closer. But maybe there's something better. Remember, we don't only look for the answer, we're looking for the best answer. Sometimes there could be two that could be the answer. We have to choose the best one. Okay. G. Not invite Lauren to her birthday parties at the lake.
Yeah, because it's her friend.
And they're friends, and Lauren saved her, so it's kind of like, you know what? You saved me, so I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I don't think it works that way. Okay, H. Rosa will not go swimming anymore. Now, this is actually a possibility. I know a couple of people that got scared from different things, and they stopped doing that. But is there anything in the text that tells us that Rosa wouldn't go swimming again? No. There's really not. I mean, Rosa was scared, but she was like, "Oh, I'm glad you saved me." That was about it. So there's nothing that we can prove to say that, oh yeah, Rosa will never swim again. She's not like, "Oh my God, I'm never going into the water again." So we don't know. I'm gonna go on a limb and say no on that one. Okay. And from now on, she will only swim in swimming pools.
No.
Once again, we don't have any proof for that. That's not in the story. So no. So what's the only one? Okay. Now, next question. Question 5. Okay, how does Lauren change over the course of the story? Now, I know we talked about this before, but just let me refresh your mind. Remember, it's just because it's been a while since we talked about different kinds of characters. There are two kinds of characters in a story. You're going to have a round character and you're going to have a flat character. Now, remember this. A flat character doesn't change. Stays the same. And a round character changes. Okay? So, here the question is, how does Lauren change over the course of the story? So, I'm going to use this space here at the bottom. And I'm going to think, okay, Lauren. And beginning and end. Okay. How is Lauren at the beginning? Scared of water. And she was pretty stubborn. I don't think she changed in that sense. What about the end? She started swimming, so that means she's not scared of the water anymore. And she said she got over being scared. Okay, so that's how she changed. For example, Rosa didn't change at all. She's the same person at the beginning, same person at the end. So she's a flat character. But Lauren is a round character. Lauren did change. Now, let's see the answer choices. Okay? At the beginning of the story, Lauren wants to go to Rosa's party, but at the end, Lauren doesn't want to go. So, this is true. She does want to go, but this is false. So, no. B. At the beginning of the story, Lauren likes swimming in the swimming pool. That's not true. She doesn't want to swim at all. By the end, Lauren likes swimming in the lake better. That's not, I mean, that is kind of true, but not really, because it's kind of saying that, oh, I want to swim here. Okay. C. At the beginning of the story, Lauren is mad at Rosa. That's not true. So, I'm going to put it next there. But at the end of the story, Lauren is not mad at Rosa. That's true, but she was never mad in the beginning. So, that kind of doesn't make sense at all. D. At the beginning of the story, Lauren does not like swimming because she's afraid of water. That's true. But at the end, Lauren does like swimming and she's no longer afraid of the water. That's true. That's the only one. Okay, number 6. Ooh, this one's a big one. Okay. Now, I always tell you to look at the models and look at the things that the models have. These diagrams give you information, even without reading them. Now, let's see if someone remembers what we talked about before. If you see arrows, it's a sequence of events. Excellent. I'm glad you guys remember it. So if you see arrows, you immediately know it's a sequence of events. And if it's a sequence of events, that means at one point in the story, there's going to be something missing, and you guys are going to have to find it. Okay? So, let's look at the. We're going to read the whole diagram, and then we're going to look at the answers. Okay, main characters: Lauren, Rosa. Rosa's dad. Yes. Setting: where? The lake. Yes. When? July. It's a July day. Yes. Next thing: main problem. Lauren was afraid of the water, so she did not like to swim. Okay, next part. Event 1. Lauren decides she will avoid swimming. Okay, next part. Lauren agrees to go to Rosa's birthday party at the lake. Yes. Lauren tells Rosa what she's afraid of, that she's afraid of the water and she does not like swimming. Yes. 4. From the shore, Lauren watches the other party guests having fun swimming. And then there's an empty space. And it says, solution to the main problem. Now, the question is, which belongs in the empty space? So, I'm going to look at the different things that I see here. So I have event 1, event 2, event 3, event 4, and then there's an arrow pointing to this. So, the way that we solve this problem is very simple. We find each one of these in the story. Okay? So, number 1. Lauren decides she will avoid swimming. What paragraph is that in? Paragraph 1. Number 2. And if you haven't done this, you should have, but if you haven't done it, do it now. Number 2. Lauren agrees to go to Rosa's birthday party at the lake. What paragraph is that in? 2. Lauren agrees to go to Rosa's birthday party at the lake. What paragraph is that in? Lauren tells Rosa that she's afraid of the water and she does not like swimming. What paragraph is that? What paragraph? Paragraph 15. From the shore, Lauren watches the other party guests having fun swimming. Oops, P17. Okay. Now, let me go back to the story. This is what I know now. As soon as I finish that, all my answers are going to be from 18 down. There are not going to be no answers before 18. Okay? Now, as usual, we're covering the answer choices and we'll go one by one. Number 1. Rosa tells Lauren that her dad will be able to take everyone to the party. What paragraph is that in? Paragraph 5. G. Lauren overcomes her fear of the water when she has to rescue Rose in the lake. What paragraph? H. Lauren decides that she will never go near water and gives excuse for not swimming. Okay, it's between paragraph 3 and 4. Rosa tells Lauren that she can help her dad cook the hamburgers.
16.
Okay, now, based on what we saw, and let me show you back to the passage. Where am I going to find the answers?
18 now.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. It has to be somewhere there. Now, looking at the answer choices, which one's the correct answer? G. Because that's the only one after 18. See how easy that is if you check each paragraph? Okay. This is the one you had the most difficulty with. So now, study the following diagram. And once again, we cover the answers. Study the following diagram. It shows ideas from both selections. Ideas from swimming builds muscles and helps you stay healthy. And ideas from Lauren Goes Swim. Now, do you guys remember what this kind of diagram is called? It's a Venn diagram. So it's a Venn diagram. Now, a Venn diagram has different, same, and different. That means this side is only going to be from that story. This side is only going to be from that story. And this side is going to be from both the same. Okay? That's how a Venn diagram works. There are different ways to draw a Venn diagram. Okay? Sometimes they do it with bubbles, sometimes they do it with charts, sometimes they do it with just the words by themselves. Now, the way you answer this is always going to be the same. When you check your answers, you're going to go, because there's so much information, we're comparing the both, we have to work directly with the answer choices. Now, this is going to be the first and this is going to be the second one, okay? So what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. So each answer choice is going to be represented in this chart. Now, for each, when one is true, or when I can find the information in one paragraph, in one passage, I'm going to give it a check mark. If I can't find it, I'm going to give it an X. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay? Because there's so much information and it's so long to read it again, what you do is you look for keywords. Remember when I told you guys skimming and scanning?
Yeah.
And you just focus on a specific word and you just look for that word. Now, if I look at this one, the word I'm going to look, the word that's probably going to be most uncommon is parties. If I look at this one, it's going to be lessons. Or learn. So I have 2 there. If I look at this one, it should be careful and swimmers. And in this one, it's going to be diaphragm. Okay? Wait, let me change color because that one you can't see. Okay, so those are the words I'll be looking at. Okay? Now, if you do the strategy, what you're going to do is you're just going to go to each passage and you're going to look for these words. So we'll do this together. A. Some people have swimming parties. Okay. Do parties appear in passage number 1?
Yes.
Where? Paragraph 1. So yes. What about number 2?
Yeah.
Where? Rose's party. Yes. That was like paragraph 8. Alright? B. Taking lessons helps people learn to swim.
Yes.
In paragraph 1, in passage 1 I mean? Does it appear in passage 1?
No.
No. What about in passage 2?
Yes.
Yes, and it's kind of like paragraph 1, right?
Yes.
C. Swimmers should be careful in the water. Does it say that in passage 1?
No.
Does it say in passage 2? No?
Yes.
Swimmers should be careful in the water. Where does it say that?
And the poster.
No, we're looking at passage 2. You're not paying attention, Kaylee. Where does it say that swimmers should be careful in the water? When Rosa almost drowned. So yes, it does appear. D. The diaphragm gets a lot of work when you swim. Where does it say that? Passage 1? Yes, there's a whole chapter, a whole paragraph on that. What about in passage 2? No. So, which is the only one we can find in both? A. So A has to be the answer. Now, every time you guys see a Venn diagram, I want to see this. Okay? This is what I want to see. I want you doing exactly this. Now, look at this. Number 8. Now, number 8 is already in T-chart form. Remember, this is essentially a T-chart. Just like I just did. See? That's a T-chart. When you have that, it's a T-chart. And it means that this is number 1 and this is number 2. So you're going to do exactly what we did right now with this answer, with this question. Now let's read the question. If Rosa exercised more, she might not have gotten into trouble while swimming. What statements in each selection show this? Now, this is tricky. We have to really pay attention. So it says, the first part says exercise more. And the second part says gotten into trouble. Those are the two things we're looking for. We're looking for it to say exercise more, or it did more exercise. And the other is that in some way she got into trouble. Okay, so let's read each one in turn. By exercising your lungs, you will add to your body's ability to use oxygen over time. Does it talk about exercise? It doesn't? Yes, it does. Okay. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I thought everyone liked swimming, Rosa said. Does this talk about her getting into trouble? No. G. The more you swim, the stronger you will get and the less tired you will feel. Does this talk about exercise? Yes, because swimming is an exercise. I went out too far and I got tired, Rosa said. Does this talk about her getting into trouble? Yeah, because that's how she almost drowned. So that's a definite maybe. Your heart is a muscle that needs exercise just like any other muscle. When you swim, your heart beats faster. Is it talking about exercise? On the shore, everyone gathered around Rosa, who was coughing. Her dad put a dry towel around her. Does it talk about her getting into trouble? No. It's talking about what happened after. J. For many people, swimming is a good way to have fun, and it's also good exercise. Does it talk about exercise?
Yes.
Yes, there it is. Swimming out that far was the biggest mistake I've ever made. I should have known better. Does it talk about her getting into trouble? Kind of, but not really. It's talking about like it was her mistake. So I'm going to say only like a half technique. Now, there are two that could be the answer. And it's something that'll be very common in tests. You'll be between two answers. Which is the best one? And there you go.